Welcome to my new series where I'll be covering Formula One's most controversial moments throughout its history. From racing to politics to drama and scandal, I will be going through it all in this series, starting off with one of the most infamous Formula One controversies, which just happens to be the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix, Senna v Prost. As we know, Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna have had one of the most famous F1 rivalries to date. So the story goes, during the 1989 Formula One Championship, both drivers were in a title fight that came to a head at the title-deciding Japanese Grand Prix. Prost was leading the championship by 16 points while Senna had to win both the Japanese Grand Prix and the Australian Grand Prix in order to be claimed champion. So during lap 47, Prost was leading. Senna saw an opportunity to make a move on Prost by attempting to pass him at the inside of the chicane. This ultimately failed, resulting in both drivers crashing. And funny thing is, upon their crash, since both drivers were presumed to be out of the race, Prost was immediately announced the 1989 World Drivers' Champion. However, Senna's car was still running, and he had the marshals push him down the escape road back in the race, and it wasn't until then did they realize that the title battle was still on. Senna did go on to win the race, but he was immediately disqualified by the stewards for cutting through the chicane. McLaren and Senna went on to appeal this disqualification, stating that he gained no competitive advantage by missing the chicane, and that in particular this appeal had nothing to do with stopping Prost from winning the championship, as Prost would be leaving McLaren at the end of the season for Ferrari. It was really because they had a win taken away from them, amongst other things. FISA, or the FIA, upheld the disqualification and also imposed an additional $100,000 fine and a suspended 6-month ban to Senna. There are multiple reasons as to why this race was so controversial. One, many critics pointed out that the ruling for Senna was inconsistent, as many drivers used escape roads to rejoin the track in the past without facing any penalties, including Prost. The second is that there were also many conversations that the FISA president had intervened so Prost, his fellow countryman, would win the title battle. This same sentiment was also believed to be true by Senna himself, and we saw how that relationship turned out. So during this time, there was a large rift between Senna and Balster, the FISA president, during the off-season, dubbed as the Winter of Discontent, where Senna threatened to retire from the sport altogether, while Balster was demanding an apology from Senna for his critical remarks, and if he didn't apologize, he would just be banned from competing in the 1990 season. Senna was then pressured to apologize by his team, which he did, but right after Balster lost out on the FISA presidency in 1991, Senna was quick to say, "I never sent apologies to that guy," amongst a lot of other things. And the third reason why this is so controversial is because of the ongoing debate of the collision. There were some who believed that Senna was at fault, while others believed Prost intentionally caused the incident to force a collision, and so he could win the championship. And ultimately, while the rivalry between Senna and Prost was what started this controversial moment in Formula One history, for me, it's really Senna and Jean-Marie Balster and their Winter of Discontent that really cemented this moment as a controversial moment in Formula One history altogether.